Hi everyone, this is Serena from Sun Moon Tarot 222. I was called to come and do a video today from just like this nudge to just sit down and see what comes out. I would like to, I am on the twin flame journey, so what is likely to come out is a twin flame energy update. That's just like what I'm feeling. That's just what I'm sensing. There's just so much happening in the energy right now, as far as like forward movement and progress, and even if people are not in communication or things seem stuck in the 3D, in the other realms, like things are definitely happening, and people are awakening and or going through some sort of process. No matter where you are in the process, you're just going through your process. So that's what this will likely kind of be. That's just like also mostly what like my guides like really give me, and I'm on this journey for a reason, or coming into my mission for a reason. So that's kind of just what I feel like is going to come out. I would like to just quickly talk about another reason why I was inspired to come on today, and it was actually something that turned out to be like really a beautiful realization to me, and I would love to share it with you. So I'm new on the scene, as you can tell. I just have a few videos and a lot of hope for my channel, and I just want to be as authentic as possible about my experiences on this journey, and hope, really just hope that my messages resonate at the end of the day. That's really all I want. And channeling really just helps me feel just so connected to myself, and helps me know what to do with all of this energy that I was given, like all of this like strong like depth of energy that I was blessed with. I'm a Scorpio moon, so I really do feel like I have an innate gift to channel, and that's kind of what the divine brought me to with tarot, and I'm just so grateful to just be putting out videos, really. So I got a comment on a Divine Feminine video that I just posted. It wasn't yesterday, but the day before, I believe. And the comment was, well, first of all, thank you to those who liked the video, and then also commented. There was another comment that was a positive comment, but one comment that I got, and it was interesting. I wasn't really sure if they even watched the video, because I didn't really go into the karmic at all. Like, it was a very, very divine feminine centered video, and it wasn't like, I don't even think third party even really came out in this particular video. Maybe once I mentioned it, but it was a very like direct comment about the karmic versus the divine feminine. And this person said, I'm not going to say names, definitely, but this person said, the karmic is always more important to the tarot community and the universe than the divine feminine, period. And they said, always, period. So that was the comment, that the karmic is always more important to the tarot community and the universe than the divine feminine. So I at first took it with a grain of salt. I actually at first didn't completely know if this was if this had ill intent, or if this is just like really what that person believed, and really just felt felt the need to share. And I want to first of all thank you for sharing that. But there's one kind of way that I looked at that comment, as well as like it was that energy of like one part of the community being better than the other part of the community, and you're entitled to your opinions, and if you disagree with anything that I say in my videos, like you're please feel free to post but like in like a, of course, in a kind, like constructive way. But I just wanted to point out, like, this inspired me to talk about the karmic and the divine feminine, in the way where, and I can speak from personal experience, I've actually been both. I am actually both a karmic and a divine feminine. So if we're talking about groups of souls in the divine or in the tarot community, right? So we have like divine masculines in one area, divine feminines in another area, karmics in another area. I don't personally carry those beliefs at all. I actually feel like everybody on this earth is a divine being, and it just depends on that particular dynamic that we're in that determines kind of what role we play, and like kind of what the divine lessons are within that dynamic. And at the end of the day, the goal for like the intention or that goal for me on this journey is to get closer to myself and to get closer to source, and closer to the divine, and closer to my mission and purpose and what I feel like the divine is guiding me to do. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I don't, like, when I see, or even in myself, I'm not perfect, like even when I see myself looking at one group versus the other group, especially within one community or in this big universe, right? Right away I feel like that's ego, because nobody is actually better than the other, than anybody else. Like, you're not gonna get me to believe any other way. We're all one, and that's another part of this journey too, is unconditional love and recognizing each other as the same, and like creating that oneness as a community. So when you talk about the tarot community, it's a huge community, and my reality of the tarot community is that we're all divine. And we can have different belief systems, and that's perfectly fine, but we're all divine, and we're all important to the universe. And I feel like, in my tarot community, and the way I see it is like, I'm no more important than the next soul. Now, going back to the idea of like karmic versus divine feminine, I know how it feels to be, actually, you know what? I know how it feels to be both. I've been both. In that, as a karmic, I've felt like I was in a partnership out of obligation, or that person felt obligated or obliged to be with me because, or like almost in a sense of being stuck with me because I was a pattern for them, or I was a cycle that they kept on repeating. Perhaps I was like their father, or I was like their mother, and that they were just with me because they were only, like, of course, maybe there was love there, maybe there wasn't, like the love faded, who knows, like that doesn't really matter, but whatever, in that point in time, I was that person's karmic because they felt like they had to be with me because of some sort of karmic kind of contract. That being said, I am also a divine feminine to somebody else. My divine partner is somebody else, right? So let's go further. And if you are a divine partner, let's look at your divine partner as now your divine partner being the karmic to their karmic. So let's look at our divine partner's karmic. That karmic, they're each other's karmic. What does that mean then? Your divine partner's karmic could actually also be a twin flame. Okay? So your divine partner's karmic could also have a divine partner who teaches them all these life lessons. And your divine partner, maybe your divine masculine, divine feminine, is actually, their karmic actually feels just obligated to be with your divine partner. So how then can any one soul be more important than another soul when that soul is interchangeable, just in different dynamics? We all have different connections, like many different we go through many different connections through lifetimes, right? And we shape shift. And while one person really gets our wheels turning and teaches us lessons, another partner or another connection is just not going to at all. That could be a karmic, but also karmics really teach us lessons too. That all sounded maybe a little bit confusing. I think you're picking up what I'm putting down though, that first of all, we're all one. It doesn't matter who's more important or not important. Like my divine doesn't pick what soul is more important at all. We're all important. And then also remember how each one of us can shape shift. And I hope that every karmic, like my divine masculine, when I think about his karmic, I love her. I send her love. And I also hope that she can find, her twin flame who challenges her in a way that she can come into mission and closer to herself and closer to, like, my goal isn't to steal her, my divine masculine, her karmic partner away from her. That is not my goal at all. My goal is to focus on myself. Of course, I want to be with him, but my goal is to focus on myself. And if everybody just focuses on themselves, they'll come into mission, or they'll come in closer to their divine, closer to source, so on and so forth. So if we just look at the triad, myself, divine feminine, my partner, divine masculine, and the karmic, in those roles, right, in this particular dynamic, from looking at it from this angle, then if we all focus on ourselves, perhaps none of us ended up being together at all. We're just all in this dynamic now to teach each other lessons, and whether or not we're going to end up being together in this lifetime is absolutely irrelevant. But we're all on it. We're all hopefully getting closer to ourselves and our mission. I really hope that this is resonating for people and making sense. Again, please comment however you would like to on my videos in a respectful way. This person wasn't disrespectful, but just what I felt from, like, such and such is more important than such and such, was that was very ego-based. And, I love you too, person who commented. And I too, like, if I make a video and I listen back to it and I'm too much in my ego, I can feel my ego too much, I don't post it. I just am like, I was too much in my ego there. So, yeah, it's all an evolution and all a learning, and I love you all. And me sharing this message was to show you listeners like what, my philosophy is. And if you resonate with this, sense this philosophy, then I'm probably the reader for you. And if I don't, there's tons of readers in the tarot community that that you'll probably resonate with. But like, that's my ethos, if you will. Okay? Or one aspect of it. Thank you so much for being open to listening to that. So I think I would like to pull some cards for the twin flame dynamic, and I think I'm just going to, how I have been doing it is pulling oracle cards first, and letting the themes from those oracle cards come out, and that's where the tarot will kind of guide me. That'll kind of set a direction or a framework. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull a couple of oracle cards, like a combination. I've seen other readers do this, and I really love it, and because it kind of layers the message and like gives it nuance. So I'm going to do that and see how it goes. I'm not trying to bite anybody's style, though. I just, whoever has this style, I like really love it, and all of our messages are authentic anyway, because we're our own, our guides are all, different, and we're all different people, and we're being, kind of guided in different ways. Okay, so the question I'll ask Spirit is, what messages do we have for, what are the most important messages for the twin flame collective right now, both divine masculine and divine feminine? We have 2 cards that flew out. I just want 1 card, Spirit. Oh, well, actually, I really like both of them. I mean, these are pretty, this is a pretty strong message, so I'm going to go with it. So we have like a 2 of Wands energy here, which is in this, this is a Psychic Tarot deck by John Holland. We have the Waiting Game, and then we have the Strength card. And for John Holland, he really pulls out the theme of power in the Strength card. So what I'm getting right away for the collective is that the collective is needing to harness some strength and power in really trusting that things are happening for the highest good, and it's a bit of a waiting game. It's a bit of a, we don't know necessarily, like 2 is always about a choice as well. Like, we don't know the outcome yet. We don't know what is going to happen. And also on this journey, on the twin flame journey, it's really important too that we come out of that that outcome focused kind of energy too, that we're letting go of the outcome. So this is saying that like, people are really having to come into their power to be really strong in like the unknown, right? I love that. I'm gonna layer this with a message from the Universal Love Oracle deck. We have fear. So fear, this card actually, this exact card came out in, I believe it was a divine masculine reading. And that's just, and I pointed out last time that there's these 2 circles. To me, this could represent the twins, that one of them is maybe perhaps entering this, like going towards the light, and the other one is maybe staying in the dark. So for your dynamic, whoever, though the roles can be whoever, so maybe this is the feminine and this is the masculine in some dynamics, and then vice versa, right? And it's kind of all how you look at it too. So like maybe maybe one twin appears to be more awakened than the other, but it could be the other way around. And it's sometimes hard to tell where your twin's at, especially if like you got separation going on or no communication. But this is just what I see, and like connecting that to the overall theme of fear. It's like fear is the unknown, right? So that fearful territory, the sensation that we get, the feeling that we get when we don't know the outcome of something, could feel very fearful and like very it's like very strong energy, but we don't actually know what's there yet. Like it's like, what could be here? It could be where is this fear coming from? It could be anger, it could be fear of abandonment, it could be fear of rejection, it could be fearing of not feeling loved, and fear of ending up alone, or whatever that is. Like that's just, this is a message that it's like Spirit saying like, I recognize that the waiting is actually what's causing fear, and the fear is like something that we have to look at. It's like, it's going to give us the answers if we don't run away. So I'm just going to get like a Rider-Waite card. So what's one card that we can add to this here? Oh, wow. Okay. So we have the Eight of Swords, which is like self-imposed prison. So right away, it's like, again, that fear is keeping us, like, it's a fear of our own making. Whatever this is, like, we're creating it, and we're probably like making it stronger with our thoughts. So swords are for our thoughts. This woman, symbolically, like, can get out of this prison. It's self-imposed. It's just her thoughts. She can escape through the back. She can cut off the blindfold and with the swords, and she can get out of this. But there's something that this like absence of knowing is causing this fear, and then like this this prison, like, that we're keeping ourselves in. This is super strong. Like, this is super strong energy. So what do our ancestors and angels have to say, Spirit, about this? Wow. Protection, guardian. Drop your shields. Wow, this is really beautiful. Wow. So whatever this is, we have fear. We have like the fear caused by, the waiting and the not knowing. But it's like, put down, like, get yourself out of that prison. Like, drop your shield. I see, like, this woman here is really brave too. Like, she is armored up. This is saying, like, Spirit is protecting you. The angels and ancestors, the divine is protecting you. So whatever it is that you have to face and deal with, just go in. Like, you got this. Like, go in. You're protected here. This is, like, beautiful. There's a lot of recognition from Spirit right now about, like, you are so brave and strong, and, like, clearly you're going through some stuff, and there's some stuff that is really coming up for you, and we recognize that there's a tendency to want to put a protective, like, cage around yourself, and maybe not deal with it, and maybe, like, be blinded to it. But it's saying, drop your shield and figure out what to do with it. Here, I'm going to read this Protection Guardian card actually really quickly. Like, this is a really strong message. I think this is for the collective. So this is for both sides. I'm not picking masculine or feminine. Like, this is both. Like, whatever the fear is that's coming up on both sides, this is for both. So drop any shields of shame, resistance, and fear that are standing between you and your chances of enjoyment and fun. Know that you don't need to hide who you are or the gifts that you have. You were born to shine. Ooh, I'm loving that. The Protection Guardian is a feminine version of Archangel Michael. Okay, so that's a feminine energy here, and I didn't really, this is a feminine energy in this card too, but we have like a very masculine energy over here with power. So, and remind me what the Strength card is in the Zodiac. I can't remember. The Protection Guardian, if there is one. The Protection Guardian is a feminine version of Archangel Michael. Okay, so this is beautiful. We have like a healing message, I think, coming through from Archangel Michael now. She is a fierce, protective, yet loving warrior angel who carries an indestructible shield of power and protection and will come to all who call on her. She will help you drop your fear-based shields and move into a loving, protective force field that will keep you safe but will allow your gifts to shine out. Although she is here to guard you from lower energies, she is completely relaxed, serene, and confident because she trusts that love will always prevail. You may have encountered shame or embarrassment in your past, but that is not your present. Angels are drawing close at this time to help you move beyond any limiting thoughts, emotions, and patterns that may be making you feel unsafe. Know that angelic protection is swirling around you at this moment and will help you move forward in a more fearless way. Call on your guides for help in changing your frequency so you can feel safe and protected at this time. You are stronger than you think, and your angels and ancestor guides are here to help you realize this now. Okay, so this is clear. This is super clear. And this has everything to do with the fear that's creating your, walls around you. And in order to, help is all around you. And all you have to do is ask for that help. Whew. Your angels are around you. And there's this recognition here that the fear is coming from the limiting thoughts, emotions, and patterns. And if you follow readers who are talking about the twin flame journey as more of an opportunity to learn, that and that's kind of how I gravitate. This message will resonate for you, and I really hope that I'm one of those readers too. I do want union. I mean, honestly, everybody wants union, of course. Am I ready for union? And I'm just using myself as an example. I'm actually not ready for union. When I ask myself, if my twin came to my door right now, would I be ready? The answer is no. I am not ready. Because I will be ready. And I'm assessing that, daily. And by me saying I'm not ready, I don't want to, keep on reinforcing that, but I also know that I'm good right now, and I'm enjoying the exploration on my own, and I don't have to be with my twin right now. I really don't. I feel like I'm keeping that love alive, I'm keeping that vision alive, but that, and I've been there, I've felt, like, definitely a desperation, stemming from, like, a fear of abandonment and rejection, that, that stuff is very, deeply ingrained and comes up, and when you have to purge it, and, there's times where, like, honestly, I've been purging for the past 2 days, so there's times where, like, I definitely do feel like I'm not ready. So in terms of dropping your shields, though, it's like, the message also that I'm getting is that in your day-to-day existence, in your life, in your job, don't let this fear rule you and take over when that comes to new, like, job prospects, new creative endeavors, new partners, perhaps, whatever your beliefs are around that, kind of separate, the way that you want to separate from your twin, totally up to you. But, like, the fear out that's coming up for you around this, like, not knowing the outcome, still take steps to, like, to continue to drop that fear. That's what I'm saying. Like, continue to, like, drop those walls and enter into new partnerships and relationships and endeavors in, like, a really fearless way. The practice of doing that will help you, will take your focus off of the outcome altogether and make you realize, like, really new and beautiful things about yourself, and give you confidence, and kind of reinforce different belief systems rather than the ones that are causing this self-imposed prison and fear. That's what I'm getting. I'm going to pull some tarot for Spirit. How can the collective divine partners drop the shields? Actually, how can we do that? How can we come out of this? How can we actually, how can we drop this fear-based thinking, these limiting belief systems that we have? How can we do that? Seven of Cups. Another 7. 7 of Wands. The Hermit. I'm just going to focus on those 3 right now. So, right away, the 7 of Cups is talking about too many options. The 7 of Wands, in this reading in particular, at this moment, really is kind of sending a message of resistance. So, like, the wanting to kind of resist other people's, resist other opinions, or resist other people's beliefs, and kind of being closed off is the message that I'm getting. Like, kind of putting yourself above everybody else in this scenario. Not saying that you're doing this, but it's like there's just this energy of like my way or the highway, like I know best, like resisting other people's. It's not like these people are like actually even trying to help either, but it's just like I'm getting the energy of like it's just like kind of set in your ways. The Seven of Cups is like you might have to look at all of your options and pick a direction, which is like which is difficult if you know, have like tons of side hustles and but you're passionate about one thing, one or two of those things. Like how can you focus more energy and prioritize doing the things that you love to do? Because once you start doing the things that you love to do, then more prosperity or like more abundance will come through because you're in alignment with what you want to do. So that's the message I'm getting here, that you just have like kind of too many options. So the question was to Spirit, like, how can you begin to drop your shields and go into a new path of like, you know, finding your actual authentic and true belief systems. And one is like, you know, get rid of the distractions. One is like maybe be open-minded and not so set in your ways. And then we also have the Hermit. So what like the way that you might be able to like narrow down your options and you know, kind of become more harmonious with others is maybe like going inside and doing a little bit of reflection. This is also saying like you may be a Virgo, but this might be a message to a Virgo, but this also is saying that like you know the answers, and it's like you're aware of what it is that you have to do. You're aware of what direction you have to go in. You're aware of what belief systems are no longer serving you, and you just have to kind of get quiet enough to hear it. So what can the listener expect for the connection in the coming week, so in March? Okay, another Seven of Cups. Huh. It's like two more cards, Spirit. Another 7. 7 is like very, very important here. Please put in the comments. I can't remember right now what 7s represent. If you're seeing 77 or 777. And then we have emotional withdrawal. Wow, these are heavy. This is heavy. Okay. Right away I'm seeing that, you know, obviously in the twin flame connection, it's so difficult because there's a strong magnetic pull towards each other. But Spirit is saying that there's like this need to draw some emotional boundaries, and pull yourself out, like really start making some decisions. Really start making some decisions to be authentic, like to take off the mask and put down like your defenses, like yeah, like drop the front a little bit. Not, you know, not saying that you all are fake or anything, but like maybe you're misrepresenting yourself. maybe what you're putting out is like just a little bit of, a falsity. So like doing something to like kind of drop that, and it's so, I mean, this couldn't be more clear. Like the Seven of Cups being clarified with the Seven of Cups. And then the 7 here being clarified by another 7. I'm sorry, I don't know what 7s mean, but please put in the comments and let everybody know, and let me know. And this is definitely like what this is requiring for you to do is like go inside. So pick a path. Well, first of all, actually, like, sit with yourself. There's like a very like solitary feel here. Like, sit with yourself. Like, get clear about what direction. Focus your energy on just maybe 1 or 2 things, on the thing that will bring you most joy, and let it come in, like receive it, like put down the, like drop the mask, drop the defenses, and just let it come in. Drop your shields. Like, the fear that you have about your life and about who you are and what you'll become and what the outcome will be with your twin is all a self-imposed prison, and it's about you just getting really clear about what you want, and that will take you sitting alone and doing that, and then like really like protection, guardian, and deception and envy. This guy is like taking his mask off, right? Or he might be putting it on, but in this reading I'm sensing like he's taking his mask off. She's, the feminine's dropping the shield. So this is like a masculine energy and a feminine energy, right? I mean, that's one way to look at it. And so everybody in the connection is having to do this, not just the feminine, not just the masculine, but I hope there's a message in here for somebody. So maybe it's not all 3 of these things that you have to do. Maybe it's just 1 or 2. Maybe it's a little bit of all of it. But, at the end of the day, like, this is what the Strength card is. It's going to take a lot of strength and courage and power to do this, because like there's a lot of emotions involved. It's hard to sit by yourself. It's hard to not defend yourself to other people in your life who have a very strong influence over you. It's not easy to like drop the mask, and this could be like very like this could be in terms of needing to be truthful with your partner. It could be needing to be truthful with your karmic, needing to be truthful with your divine partner, needing to be truthful with your kids, and just be authentic and not not fight anymore. And that requires like kind of just being honest, like with what you want and need, and like being vulnerable. I'm going to pull some romance angel cards here. Spirit, or romance angels, what are the most important messages for the listener in this reading, please? Oh, 2 flew out. So we have playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And then we have make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Okay. So with both of these, it's like I'm seeing like lighten up a little bit. Like there, I'll admit there's some very like tough energies in this reading, or so this is like some pretty serious advice here, um, about choices and willpower, and like there's clearly something that spirit wants you to do in this reading, but at the end of the day, spirit's also like, but lighten up a little bit, like maybe have fun, maybe like also another direction is just to like have fun again and remember what it's like to be like childlike and to play and to flirt and to just like not take life so seriously. And maybe when we're so focused on our divine partner, like we could really lose the zest for life, or like the we can really lose sight of like why we want to even be romantically involved with somebody in the first place. Like we still need to like have fun, we still need to play, and we still need to explore, like maybe explore our sensuality and explore our sexuality and passion, and have like still have that. And I know that that can feel like off or difficult, or like that can trigger you if you're going through a tough time with your divine partner. So I don't want to be insensitive about that. And it's hard to like, think about when you have such a strong magnetic, not everybody is, sexually involved with their masculine or feminine, but if that's there, if that like that magnetic attraction and that passion is really, really there and present in the connection, then it could be hard to play with anybody else. But this is kind of like saying like there's that option for you. And so like that also involves you making the effort, or you like making that a priority. And it's like saying like you could have great love if you're open to it, if you're ready. And we all want great love at the end of the day. And if our divine partner isn't necessarily ready, but we need, to like have fun and be in love again, then like that's there if you want it. I won't be surprised if the very soon like comes out. We have love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So this is like the vibe I was getting in this reading was that this is like a very solitary vibe too, and it's about loving yourself first. Definitely. Okay, I like to do just like a cherry on the cake Universal Love Oracle card. Guardian. Another Guardian card. This is a very, very strong message here. This is a beautiful, beautiful, strong message here. That despite what's going on and how fearful and how alone you feel and maybe hopeless, like you're not going to find love that's as good with your, as strong with your divine partner. And, there's just kind of this turmoil happening in this like misguided direction. Like know at the end of the day that you are protected. And that you have, like with that protection, then you really do have, you have the freedom to play and let your hair down. At times you feel lonely, even amidst company. The reality is that you are never alone, for you are loved more than you can possibly imagine. An angel is close to you at present, and you will feel their presence in the coming days. Watch for synchronicities in the words of a song you hear, a falling leaf, or feather, or a butterfly fluttering by. These are all signs from your angel who is here to guide and illuminate your path. The way is made clear, for you are always on the right path, and your angel will always protect you. There is no right or wrong path. Ultimately, all paths lead to the great ocean of love inside your heart. So, we had two cards that came out about path, and so this is like we have the protection guardian that talked about the healing energy of Archangel Michael. We have this guardian that's also reaffirming that the angels are with you, and like if you were kind of triggered at all about this, excuse me, life decisions can be very daunting and very hard and put us in like a self-imposed prison of our minds. But also with these guardian angels coming out, they're saying like whatever path you choose is going to be the right one. So play, don't worry about it, and like open yourself up to people. And the most important love in your life is the love that you have for yourself first, before any of this. And like all of this together will give you like the power and the strength. And it's okay. Like, and what I was saying with the fear card earlier is that this waiting and this unknown is like this is the gift to you from the universe. And like the and Spirit kind of gave us some guidance here on what to do with that. Like the fear is of your own doing. So kind of break that down for yourself. That's really all I have. I hope you resonated with my message in the beginning and resonated with this message. This is, just so beautiful. And I even really resonated with it for my own, where I'm at on my journey right now. So I love you. Please like, subscribe, and share if you resonate and you want to keep updated on my videos. I'm kind of new on the scene, so I'm going to keep posting. And love you. Bye.